Russia thought its military trains were invisible. Too big to stop. Too protected to hit. And too important to lose. But Ukraine just proved something brutal. It doesn't matter how heavy your armor is. If you're crossing the wrong bridge at the wrong time, you're already dead. Because last night, Ukraine executed an ambush so perfectly timed, so painfully precise, and so destructive, that even Russian commanders admitted, we didn't see it coming. Not even 1%. This is the full, insane, realistic breakdown of how Ukraine waited, watched, and then blew 2 Russian supply trains into the river in a single, unforgettable strike. And trust me, the ending of this story is even crazier than the explosion itself. Let's go. The Russian army has one obsession: move supplies fast. Artillery shells, fuel, missiles, armored parts, drones, food. 90% of it moves by train. Not trucks. Not helicopters. Trains. Because Russia is huge, thousands of kilometers of rail. But that's also the weakness. If you hit the right railway, you freeze an entire front line. And Ukraine had been waiting months for one perfect target. The Krasna River Railway Bridge. A long metal giant. Narrow. Exposed. A choke point Russia absolutely needed. But here's the twist. Ukraine didn't just want to hit a train. They wanted to trap 2 trains at the same time, and then unleash destruction so big it would echo across Russia. Impossible? That's what Russia thought. But Ukraine had a different plan. Phase 1, the secret signal. Ukraine intercepted. Everything started with a small mistake from a Russian logistics officer. A simple radio call. Encrypted, but not encrypted enough. Ukrainian SIGINT caught it. The officer confirmed. A fuel train leaving Luhansk. An ammunition train following 10 minutes later. Both using the same route. Both crossing the same bridge. Both during the same night. No air defense escort. Ukraine's entire intelligence room froze. This was the jackpot. 2 trains, carrying 2 of Russia's most explosive materials, crossing a single narrow bridge, with minimal protection. Ukraine didn't need a drone swarm. They didn't need dozens of strikes. They needed one perfect moment. Now they had it. Phase 2, the setup, partisans. Enter the game. Weeks earlier, Ukrainian partisans had already infiltrated the railway area disguised as workers repairing communication lines. Nobody suspected anything. During that time, they planted small but powerful linear cutting charges on a specific joint under the bridge. Installed magnetic devices under the rail. Marked weak structural points. Hid remote detonators in the forest. Left coded signs for Ukrainian drones to identify targets even in fog. Russia never checked. Because they believed their territory was safe. Huge mistake. Phase 3, Ukraine waits. And waits. And waits. The night of the strike was cold. Fog was rising from the river. Visibility was getting worse every minute. Most armies hate attacking in fog. Ukraine loves it. Fog means no satellite spotting. Weak drone detection. No Russian snipers. Low visibility for guards. Noise hides footsteps. Thermal cameras get confused. Drones can glide silently. At 3:10 a.m., the first Russian train approached the bridge. Fuel tankers. Heavy engines. A moving bomb. Ukrainian recon drones hovered so low they were almost touching the water. At 3:18 a.m., the second Russian train rolled in. Artillery shells. MLRS rockets, explosives, all stacked inside. A giant rolling ammunition depot. And this is the moment Ukraine had waited for. Both trains on the bridge. No escape forward. No escape backward. No air defense. No jammers. No countermeasures. A perfect trap. Phase 4, the first explosion. The trapdoors close. At 3:19 a.m. Boom! The first explosive device detonated, not on the train, but beneath the first rail joint. The shockwave snapped the rail like a bone. The lead wagon of the first train twisted sideways, locking the entire convoy in place. The bridge was now a cage. And then, 12 seconds later, boom number 2. The magnetic charges under the second train ignited, derailing the rear cars and blocking the exit from the other side. Russia was effectively locked inside a burning metal coffin. They didn't even understand what had happened. Some soldiers started shouting, "Brake! Reverse! Reverse!" But it was too late. Both ends were sealed. And that is when Ukraine unleashed hell. Phase 5, the kill shot, a Ukrainian drone that changed everything. A Ukrainian long-range kamikaze drone, believed to be the Morakeks, dived down like a missile. It didn't aim at the engines. It didn't aim at soldiers. It aimed at the fuel car. Because once the fuel ignites, everything goes. The drone hit the tanker with a sound like someone cracking the sky open. And then, a fireball tore through the night. Flames shot 50 meters high. The heat was so powerful it shattered windows in nearby villages. The fuel spread across the bridge and underneath it. Remember that ammo train? Yeah, it was about to cook off. Phase 6, the ammo train goes. Nuclear. Russian soldiers tried to escape, running across the bridge and jumping into the freezing river. Then it happened. Boom, 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 boom. The artillery shells inside the second train started detonating one by one. 152mm shells blasted outward like grenades. MLRS rockets launched themselves uncontrollably into the forest. Drone crates exploded into shrapnel. Fuel sprayed into the air and ignited mid-flight. The bridge became a volcano. Drone footage shows shockwaves rolling across the river like ripples. Russian reinforcements were told, "Stay back, the bridge is collapsing." And it did. At 3:41 a.m., the burning metal structure bent, snapped, and broke. Half the train fell into the river. The rest burned on both ends. The bridge, a key Russian supply route, was gone. Phase 7, the aftershock inside Russia. Within minutes, Russian mill bloggers went insane. Messages like, "Who approved both trains crossing together? Why was no air defense assigned? This is the biggest logistics disaster of the year. Ukraine has eyes everywhere." Some even claimed it felt coordinated from inside. Someone betrayed us. And maybe someone did. Because Ukrainian partisans had walked out hours before the strike. Russian commanders are furious because 400,000 plus liters of fuel lost. Thousands of artillery shells gone. Multiple MLRS rockets detonated. Drone shipments destroyed. Spare parts for tanks melted. Dozens of personnel missing. A strategic bridge collapsed. 2 locomotives gone. Hundreds of millions of dollars lost. A key logistics route offline for weeks. The psychological impact? Even worse. Russian troops are now terrified of every bridge they cross. Phase 8, why this strike was so important. This wasn't just an explosion. This was a logistics kill shot. Hitting frontline positions is normal. But hitting a deep railway, at the perfect time, with perfect synchronization? That shakes the entire Russian command structure. Ukraine showed deep strike capability, intelligence precision, partisan coordination, drone supremacy, timing mastery. Infrastructure targeting skill. Psychological warfare power. Russia learns something painful. If a bridge exists, Ukraine can destroy anything on it. This ambush will be remembered as one of the most impressive Ukrainian operations of 2025. A strike executed with patience, planning, timing, and ruthless accuracy. 2 Russian trains, millions of dollars in cargo, 1 bridge, and 1 perfect moment. But the real question now is, if Ukraine can hit this deep, if they can coordinate partisans and drones, if they can destroy entire logistics routes overnight, what will they target next? Let me know what you think in the comments. And for more insane, real-time war updates with verified information, make sure you're subscribed. More breaking stories are coming.